Hello, in this session, we're going to solve the quadratic equation by using the complete the square method. And hopefully you watched the video on the main page on completing the square, as we'll use that process to answer the following question. So from that video, we're going to need the proper form in order to complete the square. So we're going to need the squared term and the first degree term. So I'm going to group those with a set of parentheses. And I'm also going to move 4 to the opposite side. Now, in order to complete the square, we need the squared term and the first degree term, and we have those items grouped together. However, we need the coefficient of our squared term to be 1. So in order to accomplish that, I'm going to factor out 2. And that's going to reduce our binomial on the inside to x squared minus 2x. And that is equal to 4. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to divide both sides by 2. I'm going to get rid of the coefficient in front of our complete the square setup. So I'm going to simply divide both sides by 2. So we have x squared minus 2x is equal to 2. Now we're going to complete the square. All right, so remember, in completing the square, we're going to take half of the coefficient of the middle term. So the coefficient of the middle term is negative 2. We're going to divide that by 2 and square it. Now, negative 2 divided by 2 is negative 1. Right, and negative 1 squared is positive 1. So keep in mind, whatever we add to one side, we add the same thing to the other side. So notice on the left-hand side, we added 1. So we must also add a 1 on the right-hand side. Being that we completed the square, by use of the completing the square, you force a perfect square trinomial. So we can factor x squared minus 2x plus 1 down into, okay, and here's where that magic number comes from. That magic number actually comes from half of the coefficient squared, right, which is negative 1. Right. So that means if I were to multiply x minus 1 times x minus 1, I would get x squared minus 2x plus 1. Right. I'm going to simplify the left-hand side. So we have 2 plus 1 is 3. Now we're going to use the square root property. So the side that's squared, the square root and the square cancel. So on the left-hand side, I simply have x minus 1. However, on the right-hand side, we must sprout a plus or minus. From this point, I'm going to add 1 to both sides. Right, and we have our two solutions. X can equal to 1 plus the square root of 3 or 1 minus the square root of 3.